Yo, what's up you guys? Welcome back to Second Take. It's Vishwa here, and as the NBA draft has recently passed, today we're going to be discussing the Orlando Magic and their draft history, and in this video we'll be examining if the Orlando Magic can properly develop their young talent consisting of their draft picks into something special and if they're slated for a bright future or not. I'll first be breaking down the team's history in selecting draft picks and a common mistake that they've also made in the past. Then I'll talk about my thoughts of them selecting both Jalen Suggs and Franz Wagner with the 8th pick, and finally I'll break down the Orlando Magic's overall roster and future heading into next season. So without delay, please make sure to smash that like button and remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I promise you will not regret it, and let's get straight into the video. To start off, as many of you guys know, the Magic selected Jalen Suggs with the 5th pick in this year's draft. This came as a surprise as no one expected Suggs to slip this low. The picks 1 through 3 went as expected as the Detroit Pistons took Cade Cunningham as planned, the Houston Rockets took Jalen Green as part of their plan in solidifying their backcourt, and the Cavs took Evan Mobley as part of their plan to solidify their front court. However, even though about 90% of the mock drafts had the Toronto Raptors taking Gonzaga star guard Jalen Suggs, they caught us all by surprise by taking Florida State Seminole forward Scottie Barnes. This is a discussion for another video, but there are a lot of reasons the Raptors wanted Barnes over Suggs, one of them being that Barnes simply fits the culture Toronto values much better, but we won't dive into further reasons as today's video is solely for the Orlando Magic. Orlando originally thought that Toronto would take Suggs, but seeing that they didn't, they decided to snag the best player available, Jalen Suggs, with their 5th pick. Their 8th selection saw them take Michigan Wolverines forward Franz Wagner to join his brother Mo Wagner, who is also on the team. Now let's take a look at all the reasons fans may be worried about the selection of the Jalen Suggs and for Franz Wagner for that matter as well. First of all, if we examine the Magic draft history, there is reason to have a little bit of worry. Throughout the past couple decades, the only star players the team has really drafted are Dwight Howard and Victor Oladipo, and even Oladipo only truly became a star with the Indiana Pacers. Aaron Gordon, their 4th pick in the 2014 draft, has been nothing more than just an athletic, decent starting caliber player. Now let me read all the other names of the first round picks the team has selected through the past 2 decades. Reese Gaines, Fran Vasquez, JJ Redick, Courtney Lee, Daniel Orton, Andrew Nicholson, Mario Hezonja, Domantas Sabonis, who they immediately traded to the OKC Thunder, Jonathan Isaac, Mo Bamba, Chuma Okeke, and Cole Anthony. Now let me guess, out of all of these players, you never heard a single name of a star player, and that's right, the Orlando Magic have never been able to draft very good players, and they've never been a great drafting organization, and their organization has rather been based on more on trades and free agency signings. Another reason this pick may be speculated in the wrong way is that their 2018 selection Mo Bamba has not got off to the best start of his career, primarily because, as I've stated in a past video I've done on him, they took Bamba even when they had an all-star center in Nikola Vucevic, and they still have him while starting Wendell Carter Jr. at the 5. Thus, Bamba has never really had the proper situation to develop. Jonathan Isaac was also drafted when the team already had another power forward in Aaron Gordon. Similarly, the Magic are absolutely stacked with guards right now. I'm looking at their depth charts and I see that they got Cole Anthony, Markelle Fultz, Michael Carter-Williams, RJ Hampton, Gary Harris, Dwayne Bacon, who is also a shooting guard at times, Chasen Randall, Terrence Ross, and Sindarius Thornwell on the roster. If I counted properly, that is a total of 9 guards, 8 excluding Dwayne Bacon, that the Magic have in addition to Jalen Suggs, with guards like Ross and Harris that will need playing time due to their veteran experience, Fultz, Anthony, and Hampton, who are also young with a lot of potential, and MCW, who has also proved worthy of playing time. How on earth is Suggs supposed to get close to the correct opportunity to develop? To be honest, I really do not know the answer to that question. However, what I do believe is that no matter how many guards the team has, drafting Jalen Suggs was easily still the correct decision to make. Firstly, given that Suggs was the best player available, and drafting anybody else like Jonathan Kuminga, Josh Giddey, or anyone else would barely help their roster at all, as opposed to getting a future star like Suggs, as the other guys available in my opinion are more of terrific role player type of players. Secondly, if I'm looking at the current roster, no doubt I see a lot of players who have a lot of potential like Markelle Fultz, Cole Anthony, Jonathan Isaac, Wendell Carter, but I don't see any franchise altering players. But Suggs is definitely a player I feel like can be a major franchise piece for the team going forward. Suggs is an excellent all-around player as he averaged 14.4 points, 5.3 boards, and 4.5 assists and and 2 steals. I likely see Orlando rolling with Fultz and Suggs as their backcourt, with Cole Anthony as the 6th man as far as their future plans go, as the veteran guards that the team has will either be on the trading block soon or are simply there to be a mentor for the young guards like Gary Harris, for example. I likely see Suggs producing pretty big numbers, something like 15 points a game with 5 rebounds and 3 to 4 assists and a steal. As for their 8th overall pick, Franz Wagner, I personally think that he's one of the more underrated players of the draft. As a 6'9" small forward at 220 pounds, Wagner can do a little bit of everything. He can shoot the 3 off ball, the mid-range, and can really finish well in transition. His playmaking is also a really intriguing aspect of his game, as he plays with a really high IQ and makes the right reads pretty frequently. Wagner averaged 12.5 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 3 assists, shooting 47% overall and 34% from 3. His only weaknesses were his slightly inconsistent shooting, as his 3-point percentage could definitely improve, but I don't think this will be much of an issue, as he already has good shot mechanics, and more coaching and practice can definitely make him an above average shooter in the NBA. He's also not the most athletic player, but can still move pretty well for his size, and he also needs to improve his ball handling ability to the NBA level to be counted as a secondary or tertiary ball handler on a team. He's also a very versatile defender and in the pick and roll as well, and shows a lot of IQ on that end, but strength could be a minor issue. I personally see his player comparison of either a Nicholas Batum or Otto Porter Jr. due to all of their player builds as having high IQ and defensive versatility, and he can blossom into one of the better wing role players in the league. With the starting unit of Markelle Fultz, Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, Jonathan Isaac, and Wendell Carter Jr., it doesn't look very eye-popping, but this unit definitely has a lot of potential to be one of the better defensive units in the NBA, with all 5 players being great defenders. Having Fultz and Suggs as great offensive weapons and an intriguing bench unit led by Cole Anthony, RJ Hampton, Chuma Okeke, and Mo Bamba, it should also be a very exciting thing to watch as a Magic fan. And to answer the question if Suggs' career could already be ruined, I don't think this is true at all, as even though Orlando has 9 other guards, Suggs clearly stands out as one of the special players in that pack as a franchise alterer as opposed to all the other guards, and Orlando will clearly see that in time, and I foresee Suggs having an immediate impact, finishing as an all-rookie first-team member, putting up terrific numbers in his first year, even though the Magic will likely be closer to the bottom of the standings for the next few years. There's also no need to make any free agency acquisitions, and as far as trades go, acquiring more draft picks and young assets for veterans who don't fit the team's timeline like Terrence Ross is definitely key. In general for Orlando, I think it's for the best that the team prioritizes developing and growing young talent rather than making any win-now moves like the team have always done in the past decade, as a trade built Gordon, Fournier, Vucevic era roster that was nothing more than a borderline playoff team. If Orlando takes their time in developing their young talent properly, for example, giving the young guys adequate playing time and proper coaching, the potential could rise quicker rather than later and can show a lot of signs for a bright future. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on the Orlando Magic roster as a whole and your thoughts on their draft selections in the comments. Also, let us know any ideas for future content you'd like to see us make as well, and feedback, as please smash that like button if you enjoyed, and remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.